And now we must remember, this is just a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
It's not anything crazy.
We're just facing away from each other towards the camera. Hang on, let me. I think we should keep this in. Hang on. Oh. That's good.
Okay. I think we're
good.
We're ready. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Boots on the Ground podcast. My name is Will.
My name is Marcus, and we're coming to you live from our dorm room here at our university. Unnamed university for now. We'll find out.
If you guys figure it out, fair enough. There might be some hints in the shorts we've posted over the last couple of days and on Instagram and TikTok. So see if you can figure it out from there.
The person who figures it out will win $10 million.
His promise, not mine. If it doesn't deliver, you attack him.
Okay.
But yeah, so what? Let's start out with the name. Okay, so just a bit of a forewarning. Calling this episode 1 is a little bit of a stretch.
Bit of a misnomer.
This is really like an intro. So our usual podcasts will try and be between kind of like an hour to an hour and a half.
Maybe,
depending on how busy we are. Sometimes it might be a bit shorter. Sometimes we might get a guest and it'll be even longer. So yeah, we'll really have to see about that. But yeah, so this one is kind of going to be, we'll see. We don't really know yet. This might just be a really long intro.
We don't know. I mean, we were aiming for like 15 minutes, but it might be 30 by the end. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. To be honest,
I think even 30 might be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, to be honest, just like the way we're talking right now.
Yeah, we But yeah, so okay, so basically this is kind of just an intro episode. We want to tell you guys a bit about ourselves, our background, why we decided to start a podcast, what we're going to talk about, and yeah, just give you guys a little bit of an introduction to what this is going to be about. So yeah, I think we should probably start out with the name. Yeah. So if you're from this country, Canada,
they don't know which country that is,
then you might not. So the name is kind of a bit of a double entendre. We are from.
It's a play on words. You know?
Yes, we are from South Africa, and so Boots in Afrikaans means brothers. So the two of us,
exactly.
And then
we're not brothers though, but like
no.
From another mother.
Yeah, exactly, from another mother.
Yeah.
And then in English, people might pronounce it here as
Boots.
Which so
is like
kind of
boots.
Like down to earth. We're just two regular guys.
Exactly. So boots on the ground.
About university. So yeah, we're just trying to figure stuff out as
we go.
As
really.
most people are. And yeah, so that's kind of where that background of the name comes from.
Yeah.
So Marcus is from Botswana.
I am from Botswana.
He was born in South Africa, though.
Yeah.
I was also born in South Africa. I was born in Cape Town. Where were you born?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was born in Pretoria, which is a bit of a okay.
From the slums, guys.
Yeah.
Basically.
No. Okay. It's a great place. You should visit it if you can.
Cape Town too. I know a lot of people do go
to
Cape Town, but
yeah,
if you do just go to Cape Town in South Africa, you are missing out on some really beautiful things and places.
For sure.
There are risks to it. One of my biggest pet peeves is the fact that people pretend like South Africa is so much more dangerous than it is.
Yeah.
I think when I hear people being like, oh no, you need to like carry around a gun and stuff so that like, people see that you're strapped up.
Do they actually say that? That's actually
I've heard
crazy.
People that, and I just, look guys, it's really not that bad. Don't be stupid. Don't walk around with money hanging out of your pocket or like flashing your phone about because it will get stolen. But if you don't do anything stupid, you be sensible. You don't go to the dangerous places. You go out during the day, all this stuff, you'll be absolutely fine.
Exactly.
So don't listen to everyone who says like, oh, it's so dangerous and all this stuff. If you do go to South Africa, don't just go to Cape Town.
Be smart, be sensible, like just be aware of your surroundings, that kind of thing. I mean, that kind of brings us to why we started this podcast, because people say stuff like that. about South Africa or other places in the world, and we're like, hey, well, we're actually from there. Maybe we could provide some kind of insight and also some insight as to what it's like if you're international, like I am, or if you're just from like South Africa, like Will is, what it's like actually living in Canada, kind of in a first world country instead of a third world country. So hopefully that could be an interesting sort of topic of discussion later on.
I do just want to mention as well, I know he has
Oh yeah,
an
my
accent.
my American accent.
He's not
sort
from
of.
America or Canada. He literally got here. The first time he left Africa was in August last year.
Yeah, 2024.
It's the first time
August,
he's been overseas to come here. So
I'm fresh off the
why
boat.
why don't you explain the accent? Because
The
I feel
origins
like
of the accent.
yeah,
Well, look, I mean, yeah, I am fresh off the boat. Never left Africa until August of last year, 2024. The accent has kind of always been there. I'm pretty sure if I asked my parents, they would say I've always had it, more or less, because I mean, our explanation is kind of just that we've always watched very like American media and TV shows and that kind of stuff, and for that reason, it sort of translated over somehow more so than my own parents' voices, which is very interesting. But it's the same for my brother, my younger brother, who's actually still in Africa right now. Rest in peace. But um, but that's kind of the reason why. I mean, we're not actually totally sure. Maybe I should go to some sort of a therapist or something like that about that. Who knows? But that's why.
And so yeah, so also another thing, obviously he just got here. I am from South Africa, but I am a Canadian citizen. We got that pretty recently, so I've been here for around about 5 years. So we also think it'll be interesting because Marcus has a background that's very different from mine, even though we're both from Southern Africa.
Place,
I mean,
yeah.
he grew up in what is to me like a pretty small place.
It is a
in
very
comparison.
small place. I mean, Botswana is absolutely tiny, and so is and so is Gaborone, which is actually not the correct pronunciation. It's actually Gaborone. That's like kind of my absolute butchering probably of the actual pronunciation of my hometown. But it's really small. I mean, you don't really go out much, and if you do, it's kind of the same like 3 places over and over again, which is, it's fine. It's fine for growing up and just trying to explore a little bit, but it's definitely very different from here, and that's a kind of something I hope to touch on in the future, more so at least.
Yeah, and so yeah, we think it'll be. Also, I've lived in quite a few different places in my life, moved around quite a bit, and so we thought it would be interesting to kind of, and you'll see, we'll talk about stuff from living in South Africa and Botswana and everything, but also the fact that I have the background of living, because I lived up north in Yellowknife in the Arctic Circle, so it was pretty cold up there. And so yeah, just living in the different places and different places in Canada. And so yeah, just the contrast of someone who's kind of lived in the same place most of their life.
Yep.
And someone who's lived in different places and has been in South Africa for a long time, but also Canada for quite a while.
Exactly.
As well. And so yeah, that's kind of a very brief summary
sort of intro, yeah,
of our background.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other from a bar of soap before we got paired as roommates.
No.
I think
actually last minute, like really last minute pairing, because I went through like 3 different roommates.
Yeah, I did as well.
Before finally being on landing on Will. So thank goodness they somehow magically put us together.
Stroke
2
of luck,
like
yeah.
Afrikaans folks. So that's great.
Because yeah, no, the first roommate I was paired with was from Oman, I think.
I don't even know what's that.
And he seemed like a pretty nice guy, but we kind of met up on the first day of classes and didn't really end up getting along. And then, because he originally applied for this res, but then got into a better one, and so that's why that ended up not happening. And then I got paired with another guy who actually lives on the same floor.
Yep, you told me about that, yeah.
And I don't know why that switched, because we both live in the same res, and then I was suddenly like put with Marcus. So I do think we are one of the success stories.
Yeah, it's for sure.
With roommates. Not that I've heard too many bad things, but I think if I'd gotten paired with either of the previous 2 ones that got paired with me,
this podcast wouldn't have been made. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, like just like the odds, right? I mean,
It's pretty crazy. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that we grew up so close to each other,
yeah.
and then like
I feel like they had to have known. I feel like they had to have like somehow been like, okay, two South Africans, like let's put them together. I don't know.
I don't know if
They
there was
have
a
to.
person sitting behind the computer and being like, this guy's from South Africa and this guy's from
This
South
is
Africa.
this is my conspiracy
So let's
theory. This is my conspiracy theory. Someone was there and they knew. They definitely paired us.
okay. So there we go. First conspiracy theory. First of many.
First of many.
I think
yeah.
that's probably one of
Yeah.
the things we'll be talking about lots is
Yeah.
not just, like the local conspiracy theories, but maybe some
Lizard people.
Mark Zuckerberg,
Exactly.
birds.
Birds
Are
being
they real
governments.
or are they government
Government
drones?
spies.
We'll probably have.
Yeah.
We can do like a conspiracy theory episode.
for
I
sure.
feel
I think
like
that'd
they
be
might
fun.
pop up every now and then, but
Yeah.
we can do one that's like completely dedicated.
Yeah.
I think that could be quite
Be pretty
interesting.
fun. We've got a lot of episodes planned.
Yes.
So far we've got some cool ideas in the pipeline. Hopefully they see the light of day.
Materialize, yeah.
Which I know for a lot of these podcasts that start up on YouTube is probably easier said than done in terms of actually materializing what we want to do. But we hope to be able to do it and show you guys and have fun with it too. So yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you guys will notice as things go on, a lot of stuff will change. How much longer? I'm only in this room for another 3 days,
There you go.
which is pretty
Yeah.
crazy to think. First year's absolutely flown by. Sometimes it felt like it took forever, but coming up to the end of it, it's really been
Just like it's been no time at all, really.
exactly, yeah. And so yeah, we're hoping to film. We're obviously filming this podcast right now, this episode, and then we're hoping to film one more episode while we're in this room, and then
Yep.
obviously we've got summer break, and so you'll be seeing some different episodes. We'll have some guests to replace co-hosts for certain episodes because
Exactly.
we won't be in the
'Cause they're
vicinity of
traveling
each
and-
other.
Yeah.
So we've also got some interesting guests lined up. We'll be talking about, for the sports fans among
Uh-oh.
among you. Oh no. But yeah, so we'll be talking about probably some soccer, some Formula One, some rugby most likely, and some other topics like that. I've got a guest lined up who that'll probably be the majority of the conversation with. And so yeah, I mean we'll try. Our goal is to put out a podcast every week on Tuesday at midday Mountain Time. So there's a conversion rate in Google. You plug in the time and GMT, and then it'll give you the time in your time zone.
I don't even know what that is.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan. But hopefully, yeah, I mean, we'll be back in the vicinity of one another
Eventually. It's kind of interesting
Eventually.
because we're gonna have like 2 episodes that are actually us, like the main hosts, and then like a bunch that are different for a bit. But
So,
we'll see.
Yeah, the timing wasn't great on our part.
This is like the end of the school year because we kind of had this idea to start a podcast very late.
It probably was only born out of boredom because we didn't have classes
Yeah.
or anything.
And we were like, hey, we always like, we're always like yapping and talking about random stuff that, kind of just, we like the conversations a lot, but we thought it'd be fun to kind of share them. Not that they're really very intellectual or anything, but they're kind of funny sometimes, so that's good.
And so yeah, so I mean, we just thought kind of put them out there. I don't think we have. We've got hopes and dreams.
Yeah, we do have hopes and dreams. We're not completely devoid of those
Sanity.
of sanity just yet.
But yeah, so I mean, we thought, put it out. If you're watching this, and you haven't seen, leading up to the drop of this podcast, we posted a bunch of videos, kind of the 7 days leading up to this, of us doing some interesting things and saying some interesting
Some
things.
very interesting things.
So if you haven't given those a watch, go watch those. on YouTube Shorts on this channel. We've also got an Instagram and a TikTok, both of them
They'll be linked in the description.
linked in the description.
Probably,
Yeah.
maybe.
But Boots on the Ground, both of them as well. And so yeah, go give those a watch. Leave us some comments on
Some comments, some likes, some
suggestions,
insults, maybe.
Okay, I feel like that's gonna come with time. Let's just
probably
that can happen on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Compliments.
There we go. And then also some suggestions and ideas. You know, we do have those accounts and everything now, and we're keen to hear what you guys want to see.
Yeah, tell us what you want to see.
Short form content. Yeah, I mean that's obviously something that's a little bit more challenging to keep up with because
a little bit
that's
because of
kind of on a bit more of a regular basis than just once a week, and so we'll be making some. We'll be releasing some of those as well during our time apart. As hard as that will be to make some of those without Marcus, we need to keep churning them out. And so
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Probably.
You should make that into a video.
I'll do that. I'll try and record that for you guys.
And so yeah, we will be doing those kind of thing. And then also like how we edit these. Obviously the podcast we're gonna try and do like minimal kind of I mean it's a conversation, right? So we're not gonna edit anything crazy out unless
mostly whatever Will says, and we'll just keep whatever I say.
This will become the Boots on the podcast, the Boots on the Ground podcast with Marcus and Will,
exactly,
not Will and Marcus.
Exactly.
So because just so he kind of has a little bit more creative domain over the actual podcast editing, whereas I'm more the short form guy.
Yep.
So if there's any issues, please point them in his direction.
Oh, I thought you were like trying to give me credit or something.
No.
Creating a scapegoat.
He has not edited anything yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does with this.
It's going to be the best editing.
I've done all the shorts leading up to the drop, so I think he's got a good taste of.
I've got to,
And I mean, to be fair, I'm not like just doing them and then doing like posting them without his permission. I do show them to him as well and like get a bit of his input. So
it's a very co-parenting sort of household here.
There we go. I hope he does the same. We'll have to see about that. Okay. We will see.
It'll be fine.
But yeah, and so what are you going to be talking about? Some gym stuff? I don't know what this angle looks like. But he's got some muscles.
A few.
So he's a bit of a.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of a gym bro. I don't know if they can even tell. Probably not, to be honest.
Come on,
but just give him a little something. But yeah, maybe we'll do some vlog type content. Maybe I'll take you guys to the gym a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Will take you wherever he goes sometimes.
Okay. Maybe I'll join you guys at the gym sometimes. Who knows?
And yeah, I mean, we hope to bring you some good variety with this podcast. Not only just talking every day about homework was so hard today,
which it was, by the way. We had to
was.
Study for statics today, and it was
a time.
Mr. over here still has to study for physics as well, which I don't.
I've got a lot of exams coming up. But yeah,
and so there's obviously we'll do this podcast kind of weekly. Then sometimes we'll do some, as Marcus said, like vlog type stuff, which will be more videos and whatever. We have a plan to do, and a lot of the time the videos will lead into the podcast. So we'll do something in the videos and then be like,
there'll be like a corresponding podcast sort of after the videos.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys, if you don't want to watch a 40-minute podcast, you can at least watch a 20-minute video, and maybe that's a bit more palatable. We'll see.
Yeah, we know that people's brains have corroded.
I know mine has. I mean,
just trying to get him to sit down to film this was the most difficult thing. One of the most difficult things I've ever had to do.
One of the most difficult things.
Leave a like for the fact that I was able to get him to sit down for this. It is pretty impressive.
I can barely sit still.
Another thing, I'm not gonna like try and spoil anything, but I'm just gonna say keep an eye on the mics each week.
Oh yeah.
It might be worth doing.
I mean, you can see he's got a mechanical pencil.
Mine's on a pencil. Yes.
I've got a nice measuring tape. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a measuring tape. So
he needs to hold the mic a little bit closer to his mouth because
I do, because I talk very quietly.
I yap quite loud and he doesn't.
I whisper.
We do apologize if one of us is a bit louder than the other.
Yeah.
That was not intentional.
Or if I sound like a bit ASMR-y with it so close to me. Maybe.
Hey guys, and welcome. No. Let's not do that.
They just clicked off right now.
That's oh man. Okay, well, for those of you who are still here
after that.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan-ish. Should we kind of tell them about some of our interests just to get a taste of what?
Sure. So, I mean, we're both studying engineering here for undergrad. I don't know if you
first year.
Yeah, first year. Yeah. We both want to go into mechanical, hopefully.
With a minor in aerospace?
With aerospace, yeah. I'm kind of undecided, but probably aerospace. If not that, then maybe biomedical. Anyway, that's a bit boring. But the other interest,
it's part of our lives, so it's something you're going to hear about.
It's part of our lives. You're probably going to hear about it. Yeah, more often than not. So good to know. My other interests are like we mentioned before, I like going to the gym a lot. I am quite into that kind of stuff, fitness stuff. So I'll probably end up yapping a bit about that every now and then. I also like movies and music and crap like that and games and stuff. I mean, Will loves video games too, so he'll talk about that probably.
I can see that happening.
But yeah, we both just love we like the outdoors. We'll probably eventually do some outdoor content, hopefully. We do have like the little fluffy windy things on these mics that we can put on.
We did test them out earlier. I kind of was speaking into it and Marcus was like blowing into it. So, and that didn't work all that well. But then again, he was blowing like directly into it. So I think that might have something to do with it.
It's a little windy where we are, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's fine. Maybe we can even do like a hiking.
Yes, no, I mean, we live like pretty close to some pretty crazy mountains. And so, yeah, I can definitely see us doing some hiking stuff.
That'd be good.
Possibly skiing. Who knows? Maybe skiing. Next winter.
I went skiing.
Marcus
for the first
went
time
skiing. He did.
Recently.
I've never been skiing before, despite having lived here for as long as I have. So
there you go.
You can laugh at us falling over on our butts and stuff. Probably me more than Marcus, since he has, the leg up. But
that experience.
Then again, I guarantee you he'll fall over at least once. So you can look forward to that.
Yes.
We do play squash together sometimes.
Yeah, we haven't.
It's been a very long time.
I've been thinking about it. We should definitely start that up again.
Yes, no, and so we might do some.
We have like a highlight reel of all the best squash, which is mostly me losing.
Yes, just an FYI. I think the closest he's come.
Okay, we don't have to reveal my actual stats.
Okay, we'll let the game speak.
Exactly. Don't give them preconceived notions.
Yes.
Oops, I got to hold close. Don't give them preconceived notions. I'm quite an adept squash player, I think.
Yes, no.
I'm manifesting.
That's part of the journey, right? We thought we would start playing and continue playing throughout university. And that hopefully by the time that we're done,
I will beat Will once.
He will beat me at least once. That is the goal. I'm not going to go easy on him. And if it doesn't happen, then that's not my problem. But we're going to give it our best shot. The big reason, though, that we haven't been playing so much lately is because my squash racket grip was terrible. Like, he can attest to this. It was literally like falling off.
And I still couldn't win.
Yeah, I still beat him like crazy. And so I went and bought a new grip and tried to put it on myself. But I don't think I bought the right grip. And so it was very thick. And it just felt really strange. So I ended up not playing with it at all because I just felt like it might give him a bit more of a chance to win, and we can't. I would probably be better playing without a grip than with that grip. Yeah. So, yeah, but he still needs to buy a squash racket. So
I don't even have one yet. So I mean, I've been playing with my hand actually. No.
Oh yeah. Well, let's not make them think that's why you're losing.
That's the only reason why.
And so so once he makes that commitment, to buying a squash racket, then I'm sure it'll be his prerogative a little bit more to get us to play a little bit more, because if he actually has a racket that he spent
wouldn't want to waste my precious
hard-earned money on,
my doubloons.
Yes, the Wonga.
Yeah, what is that?
And so you guys might see a bit of that. I don't know if it's something you'll enjoy, and it'll be interesting to see like what kind of angles we'll be able to
Oh
do
yeah.
besides just like on the floor,
Oh.
because we
crap,
do
yeah.
tend
That's
to
gonna
hit
be-
the ball down there sometimes, and
Yeah.
so don't want to be smashing up any phones. And I can
Hopefully
imagine
not.
the echo in there would be
Yeah, the audio is
absolutely
gonna be like
atrocious.
we're
Oh,
gonna have to figure
woo,
something out
woo.
about that because there's also like other people playing there because we play in like a racket center, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
quite busy sometimes probably. So we'll see how that even turns out. But hopefully we can do some fun stuff with the squash and the outdoors and the everything else. But yeah,
Yeah, and oh man, that would be it would be really cool if we could do like movie watch alongs and stuff. But
that'd be
unfortunately
good.
with
But
like
like
with
copyright stuff,
YouTube and
right?
everything,
It'd be
exactly.
hard.
Yeah, I don't know if that
We
would
could probably
be.
talk about like reviewing movies.
Oh yeah, no,
could
we
do
can
that.
we can do like a
Just copy
weekly
every podcast
segment.
out there.
Yeah, so like obviously we're gonna do some stuff that we think you guys might want us to do. But again, like please like leave a comment, tell us the stuff that you want to hear. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty cool. Like I'd be more than happy, yeah, to do like a weekly movie segment,
Yeah.
and throughout the week we watch a movie and then we kind of talk
Yeah,
about
look,
it.
we'll just try different stuff, and we're eventually going to try and find the intersection between what you guys like and what we like, and
Mm.
maybe do more of that, and then occasionally throw in something to spice things up, and just see how you guys respond to it and how we like it. So yeah, but the goal is to have fun and to just
Just
do the thing.
have something to like just let us take a step back from like school and studies and everything, because
Yeah.
obviously doing engineering and whatever, sometimes it can get like
a little stressful.
little bit
It can be a
much.
little stressful.
and so yeah, just to have something to kind of like step back, we can talk, which always helps as well. Obviously
Yeah.
we're not going to trauma dump on you guys. If you are also studying engineering and you're in undergrad,
Maybe
let us
you'll
know.
understand,
We can
yeah.
sympathize. We know what it
Exactly.
feels like. Not that it's going to get any easier from this point on. Next year is going to be a grind and a half.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because I've heard that second year is
Actually,
one of the worst,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
third year is a little bit better, but not much, and then fourth year is like chilled.
kind of more relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, yeah, we won't bore you guys with those kind of details. We know that when engineers complain about how hard engineering is, everyone is like, "Ugh," and
You picked your degree, bro. You picked it.
they don't think it's quite as hard as it is, but yeah, not saying that it isn't rewarding. There are definitely certain things that make it
Some good moments.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as few and far between as they are.
It'll be fun to like show some projects, maybe.
Ooh,
That could be interesting.
Yes, we could do. We did a project in our design class this semester. A couple projects actually. First one,
Yep.
absolute breeze.
Oh,
We
that was
loved
great.
it. It only happened over like the span of 3 hours, and we built
Yeah.
like this little sail car that had to be pushed by a fan, and that
over a
was the best
certain
thing
like
ever.
over a certain distance, and it was just
With like
great.
a payload of marbles, and I was with
Yep.
like double the distance. I'm just saying.
Just
I'm not trying to
saying,
like put anything
pro
crazy
engineers.
out there, but we might actually be good at this. Well,
a little
we
bit.
thought so
Until the
after
second
that
project came along, which was
Yes.
like this garden. So it would be this miniaturized indoor garden, which we would have to have a like an automatic water soil moisture sort of sensor,
Mm.
an automatic watering system, an automatic light sensing and light turning on sort of system. I know my English is just fantastic right now, but and that was quite grueling, to be honest. That was a lot
That
with
was-
it, with the
Then again, it was kind of, we just got in a group that loved to leave stuff till the last second. And so literally the night before our presentation, we were trying to do this thing together.
yeah.
The makerspace.
Us included, to be fair to them. Like, we also kind of left things. It wasn't just those guys.
Well, like, and that's after the second project, we're like, okay, we're not going to do this again. Lo and behold, the third project, exact same thing ended up happening.
Yeah.
So at least we know those two, because one of them is always late and the other one just leaves. So not the two best group mates that a man could ask for, but we made it work because we had to. And so yeah, but so we've got some pictures and some videos.
Maybe we can show them eventually.
Yeah, maybe we can.
We'll see.
Yeah, give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into what.
We've got to have like those day in the life videos. Day in the life of an engineer.
Yeah, exactly, and because like, well, I mean, it would kind of be better if we were in different not even different majors, but just different streams of engineering,
No, we're just
because
the
we'll be
exact
going
same.
to exactly the same classes. So, but you know what? We could ask some friends maybe to like
I don't
just
know
I mean,
either.
if you guys are curious, like if you want to know what a day in the life of a certain major looks like,
Yeah, we can have them on.
give us a shout. Yeah, we can have them on the podcast. We
if we
can
like
ask
them.
them to do a bit of like a yes, yeah.
If we don't like them, they're not showing
If
up.
we like the major, then maybe.
then maybe. Don't
But
talk
if-
about. Don't talk about. I'm kidding. I don't want to. I don't want to like dog on a major and then like they're like I major in this. Yeah, fuck you. I will bleep that out. I'll bleep that out. But yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, so yeah, let us know. We can try and get that if someone's interested. I know that when I was looking at doing like mechanical engineering, it was actually really hard to try and find like videos and stuff of people just telling you what it's like and kind of
Yeah, everyone just kind of is like, you have to do math, and it's like, well,
that doesn't help. There are many kinds of math that you have to do,
yeah,
and none of them are really what you think they are.
yeah,
Just for example, I did my grade 12 year online, and the amount of calculus that I didn't know from grade 12 that I was supposed to know going into my calc course in the fall semester was ridiculous. Like I actually ended up not well, I made it, I passed the course, but I didn't score high enough for it to count as a prerequisite. So I've kind of had to like take a step back and do like calc 1, and then I'll do calc 2 in the summer semester. So just simple stuff like that. Like if you go to a university that's in a different province or in a completely different country to where you're doing school, there very well could be gaps like that
exactly.
I would really have liked to know about, because I could have then learned that stuff in the summer between graduating and coming to university, and could
been
have
like
skipped
way
the whole
better prepared, right?
Exactly.
Just the
And
whole
so,
rigmarole of like, oh
really
crap,
just-
I gotta learn
yeah.
all this extra stuff.
because it is a lot. I mean, if you're doing
Yeah.
5 classes and they're really demanding, and you have all these midterms and all these final exams, I mean, I don't know what you felt it was like, but man, oh man, at the like during first semester, just trying to adjust to the
Yeah.
workload was just crazy overwhelming. This semester's been a lot better. Then again, I am only doing 4 classes this semester, not 5, but it's definitely an easier. There's not as big of an adjustment and all this stuff. So yeah, but just stuff like that. I mean, stuff that I would have wanted to know, stuff that Marcus would have wanted to know.
Yeah.
And just, even if no one actually gets anything from it, we'll still tell you guys.
Yeah,
Who
just to
knows?
kind of-
Maybe someone like, I don't know, 10, 15 years down the
Who
line.
knows,
Like,
right? Maybe we'll blow up in 5 years.
whoa.
When
As
we-
soon as we graduate,
It's
just like,
like
woo.
wow. It's like, well, now we don't need it anymore. So. Yeah. I mean, hopefully you guys can take something from this, and even if you can't, we're just using this as a coping mechanism for our stresses.
We're too cheap. We're too cheap to pay for therapy, guys.
Exactly.
So this is kind of
so
just
this is
like,
what we're doing. We're asking you guys to be generous enough and kind enough to listen to our problems. But
Again.
also some fun stories and some funny jokes and
100%.
cool videos. Not just problems, but some problems.
And we won't like depress you guys or anything. We'll try and like
Keep it light.
keep it light.
Mhm.
We'll still share some stuff like that, but yeah, mostly just tell you some funny stories and
Yeah, just have fun.
interesting
Just
stuff
have
that
fun.
happens. Yeah, and I mean, kind of just go with the flow. I mean, you can't really do much else. Unfortunately, life has a way of whacking you upside the
Yeah.
head when you least expect it. So
Yep.
just being ready for it, and
sure.
again, like stuff that happens to us, we can let you guys know about, and maybe you can take some avoiding action so you don't have to.
Or just relate, kind of like share your own experience in the comments. Maybe we can build a little community of friends.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be nice.
I mean, we could do like when we gain a bit of traction, we could do like a bit of a Discord server, just that we can like
yeah,
talk a little bit more.
maybe even some like live stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, we could do some live podcasts.
Just being very careful what we say.
Yes,
Here.
we don't want to get any community guideline
Any,
strikes or
yeah,
anything
would
like that.
That would not be good.
Marcus, he has
Away with words.
A certain way with words. Yes, we won't dig into that a little any deeper.
Of course not.
But yeah, so just maybe a little bit more, like engaging stuff like that, and so you guys can ask us stuff, and we'll obviously try our best to like. And again, we're pretending like we're gonna get like 100 comments.
Oh no, that's
if
in no
one
way-
person comments on this, I'll be like,
we will literally be your best friends.
Yes.
You are invited to
you
every
have
podcast from now on.
we will like write out a contract and sign it and send it to you, and we will be legally obligated
Yes.
to be your best friend.
Forever. Not forever.
Let's say
For a
like,
year.
for a year, yes. And then if we really like you, then we might update the contract.
Exactly.
But at that point, if we really are that good friends, then there's no need for a contract. Right? It's just like a.
I mean, I have contracts with all my friends, but each to their own.
I hate to break it to you, man, but I don't think they're your friends.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I mean, we kind of just want to let you guys know a little bit about what this is going to be about, a little bit about us. We didn't want to do anything too crazy because, as we said, this isn't actually the first episode.
It's just a
This
pilot,
is-
really.
Yes. Like, I mean, not that, again, like pilot episodes are usually to test the waters if something will work or not. And
Exactly.
I mean, I'm really excited, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
Same.
like we got these
Literally a few hours ago.
we got
we've
these
been
mics and we've been so excited
we've
about
been
getting
so
them.
excited about like waiting for them to getting them. I mean, when I saw that we got them, I was like, we gotta go right now, pick them up, and like test them out, and it was great. And
we got them, and they work like really, really well.
these
so
are $20.
$20 on Amazon,
just
man.
to show how easy it is to start this kind of thing. You do not need like a $200 setup with a crazy camera and we're recording on Will's phone. We're actually supposed to record on my phone,
Because
but-
he's got a better camera. But, oh well.
the future episodes will be on my phone, maybe.
You'll
but-
see the difference. It'll be
oh,
like
yeah,
crystal
night and
clear.
day, night and day. But just to show how easy it is. I mean, we're two kind of broke
guys.
students, so just to show it. I mean, you can kind of start with a measuring tape and a mic.
There we
And
go.
a dream.
And yeah, I mean, it really is like these things. There's a receiver that plugs into your charging port, and that just like gets the audio there, so you don't have to patch anything together.
It's so good. It's
While
almost
you're
too good to be
editing.
true, to be honest. Like I was skeptical
Mhm.
of the mics, but they work great. They work
We
like
did
a- like a
decide
dream.
though, we were kind of like tossing up between two different ones.
Yep.
And we decided to go with these ones because despite getting here on Saturday instead of Friday, these ones had like 4.5 stars and like 500 reviews.
Exactly.
And the other ones had 4.6 stars but only 50 reviews. So we figured that like if that many more people say that these are pretty good for
Rather
their
be
price
safe.
point,
yeah.
yeah. So we waited a little bit longer, but I think it was worth it. I think they're pretty cool.
I very much agree. They're great. Yeah.
But yeah, and we also just want to say like this is again like dreaming like crazy, but if we were to like make any kind of money off of this or whatever, it's pretty much all gonna go like back.
Back into the production.
So
and,
yeah, you'll see like if one day we just have new microphones, then you'll know that it was because like
'Cause
of
you
you
guys,
guys.
yeah.
Exactly. So all the money that we make we'll put back into your whatever, hopefully
hopefully.
get some better mics. And we really wanted to make like a jingle,
Oh yeah.
and we tried.
Did not go well.
I literally forced Marcus, like as soon as he woke up, we like tried to like sing into my
Yeah,
headset.
That was quite interesting.
We tried to, it did not work. So yeah, maybe get like a jingle made, maybe get a bit of a like a logo made.
Maybe
That would be
yeah,
pretty cool.
That'd be good.
Depending on.
Well, we've got kind of a logo. But
yeah,
like,
but I mean like like the writing, and then it's
Oh,
like bubble
yeah.
letters with like all the stuff and whatever,
yes. So
something
with,
like
with
that.
an actual
Yeah.
logo. Yeah.
So-
that'd be good.
Yeah, so obviously at the moment we're doing the editing.
We're doing
like,
everything,
making all
basically.
that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not sending this out to anyone. It's
Yeah.
completely on our time and all this stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, but as I said, I'm excited about it.
Same.
I'm
Same.
enjoying this. I really enjoyed making like the shorts the other night. That was
They were
not
great.
only the editing, but like the actual process of making them as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Just
Um,
the creative juices flowing. It was good to have that again after like
Yes.
what frankly being in a degree that doesn't always allow that very much. I know
Mhm.
everyone's like engineers have to be creative, and of course they are, but when you're in your first year and you're just trying to make it through all your classes, it's not always the easiest to find a creative outlet. So
Yeah.
hopefully this can be a bit more of that for us.
And so
as well.
because the engineering is so right brain, hopefully, yeah, we can like take the creativity to a whole different level on this, because it's kind of like the only creative outlet that we have,
more or less. Yeah.
yeah. And so I think that'll be, I mean, you guys can keep an eye out, and as I said, like the editing style might change. We'll try out some different stuff and whatever and see how that goes. Not to like get your expectations too high, but Marcus over here was involved in a podcast at his high school.
Oh yeah, for a little
It
bit.
only lasted for a couple of months. The demise was actually really sad. I feel bad about it.
It was a real slow fizzle out. But,
And we might, touch on that in another episode. But yeah, so he's done something like this before. I think it was audio only though.
It was audio only, yeah.
So, but yeah, he's been involved in some of the editing and whatever. So, no crazy expectations, but there's a little something
We've got
there.
some experience here, so
You never
it goes
know.
Okay.
Could do some interesting things. But yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. Really, really looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
hang on a second. You talked about your interest, but I didn't talk about mine.
Oh, go on. I tried to segue into it being like, oh, Will's gonna talk about like video games and stuff, and you were like, yes. Anyway,
My bad. I kind of just pinged off that.
No,
okay,
you
but
got it.
anyways, so yeah, I don't really have hobbies per se, which might sound kind of sad, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, as Marcus mentioned, like I'll play some games and stuff with one of my friends, Ben. If you're listening to this,
Hopefully he is.
big up Ben. Leave a
Big
like.
Shout out Ben.
Subscribe for Ben.
For Ben. Do it for Ben.
Yes.
Hashtag do it for Ben.
Yes, leave that down in the comments.
Exactly. Get it trending.
Across all platforms.
Across all
Okay, we
platforms.
expect you guys
Number one on the charts.
to show up. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I do that, and then as I said, we kind of play the squash together. I'm a pretty big Formula One guy. Been watching that since 2019, so I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. As I said, we're gonna have a guest, not next week, but the week after that, who is also a bit of an F1 fan. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more. So yeah, you might hear me talking about that, and Marcus will probably learn about Formula One through
Exactly. Kind of
talking
like
about
through
it.
osmosis a little bit.
He
Which,
can.
really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, the more you know,
Exactly.
So yeah, and then what else? I do enjoy rugby. I played it when I was in primary school, and I've watched it pretty much all my life. If you guys don't know, rugby is like the biggest sport in South Africa. So, and we're actually the best in the world at it.
There we go.
South Africa is not the best in the world at much, but rugby is something that we've always been
Yeah.
very competitive
Yeah,
in.
we're up
So
there.
it's like a real national pride thing. The fact that our rugby team is so good, we've won the last 2 World Cups back to back.
Yeah.
Not to brag or anything.
Not to brag. Humble brag.
That
Humble
is
brag.
we're the first country in the world to ever win 4 Rugby World Cups.
There you go.
So when I say we're the best, I'm not like just being.
Exaggerating.
I'm dead
it's
serious. Like New Zealand's only won 3, and there's a couple of.
all the New Zealand fans are like, I hate you.
If there are any of you out there,
We love
tell
you.
me. Yes, we love you, and tell me why you think that South Africa is not the best rugby team in the world, and I will reply to that and absolutely demolish you, because there is no one out there that can convince me that South Africa is not the best rugby team in the world, because all the facts point to the fact that they are. So I'm not going to get into a fight with anyone online because I think that's stupid, but share your opinion with me. I'll share my opinion with you. If we don't agree, that's okay. We can agree to disagree and move on from that. But yeah, let me know. I might be missing something that you guys know about. So again, yeah,
And if you-
open line of communication.
Exactly. I mean, if you prove I'm wrong, we'll just delete your comment. So it's that simple.
I will delete your comment personally.
That's how it works, really, on the internet.
So yeah, there hasn't been much rugby on lately, but I think that starts up in June or July again. So if I watch some of those matches,
We'll be talking about that. We
Definitely.
can watch them together, review them, kind of. I don't
Yeah.
know if we're allowed to watch them on the podcast, but like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. We'll see how that goes. It can just be us sitting there looking at it and like, oh.
I mean, there are those people who do like the watch-alongs where they just have the score on the screen and then they like comment on it.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys have 2 monitors at least. Like, watch us on the phone and no, we should be on the big screen.
Yes,
Watch
yes,
us
yes.
on your computer and watch the match on your phone.
And then yeah, there's a couple of other sports as well that I'm like somewhat interested in, and sometimes we'll watch. Like, I mean, we might talk about UFC if
Yeah.
when Drickus fights again. That's obviously another
South
African.
fellow boots.
Yes. And yeah, so like, if you guys want to see him, like, subscribe, and then he might agree to be on the podcast. You know,
Oh my gosh, that would
like
be...
they do have UFC. Well, I don't know with all the US stuff going on at the moment. If we're gonna try our best not to like be very political, because
just best to avoid it, really.
Yeah, I know that can be like a very sore subject for a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's also not what the podcast is about. You know, the podcast is just, it's supposed to be fun. Again, I know I've said that like a million times, but biggest thing is have fun. It's you know, we don't want any arguing in there, any non-civil arguing. Let's say if you want to argue in the comments or talk about something, just
debate.
Keep it,
Let's debate. Let's not argue. Let's keep it respectful, and like
that's what we'll do.
Respect each other's opinions. As I said, if we can't find a middle ground, then you know
we will come to your house and fight you.
Okay. That's again, he's the muscle, so you know I'll do the debating and he'll do the physical labor if any of that is needed to be done. Which we hope
unpaid labor.
Unpaid, yes. Unless you guys decide to subscribe,
so we can hit that like threshold for YouTube.
Yes,
that
we need 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
3,000 valid watch hours.
Whatever that
or
actually
3
means.
million views on our shorts. So we know that it's a pretty steep mountain to climb.
But we're hoping you'll climb it with us.
Yes.
And if we hit 1,000, is it 1,000?
1,000
subscribers, I will do an episode with my shirt off.
For all you ladies out there.
There you go.
Tell your friends, you know, we can like, I mean, again, we don't know what the angle looks like, but I guarantee you, like sitting from like
we'll get
right
some
next
lighting,
to this guy,
some good lighting going.
Like his chest is crazy. So you know, I'm just
take his word for it.
and he'll go to the gym like right before the episode, so he's got a huge pump, and then like you know he'll look like
and then at 10K I'll do an episode with my pants off. So
okay,
that should be fun too.
Well, we'll discuss that one behind closed doors.
I'm afraid no amount of lighting can help with that.
We'll see. So yeah, obviously that's and again, like we don't really have any expectations coming out of this thing. As Marcus has said a lot, we're just doing this for fun, and if anything happens, awesome, and if not, like that's okay too. Like we get to enjoy talking to, you know, if we have like 5 loyal viewers, then
that's
we're doing it for you guys
for as long as it takes. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean...
we're in it for the long haul kind of thing, you know, and we're not super focused on like you see those guys on like Instagram and stuff and being like, this is how you gain 20,000 YouTube subscribers in a month.
We don't need that.
That's not going to happen. That's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah. We also want people who will stay, you know, and hopefully like kind of be on this journey with us and not just kind of show up and then leave. So, you know, we're looking for longevity, not for this, you know.
And then again, like we're not saying that we don't like want new people. And
for sure.
If it's not for you, like we completely understand. There's no like shame in that. I know that I've listened to plenty of podcasts and I've just been like,
I'm do it right.
Like the Hawk Tour podcast. I don't understand how that thing's gotten as big as it has.
We're starting beef with them right now. We're officially beefing with those guys.
Yes, guys, our goal is to overtake the Hawk Tour podcast.
I know we said no arguing, but we can argue with those guys. just get them on.
Get
them
like
out of here.
Didn't they like fall off really hard? Aren't they in some like massive like legal trouble because of the whole
I heard about
coin
that
thing?
Too. I don't know.
So who knows?
The Hawk Tour coin? Did they make Hawk Tour coin? If you bought Hawk Tour coins, I'm sorry.
We would never do that to you guys. I just want to like let you know.
Yeah.
And so who knows? Like if they're in prison right now, then we've already beat them. So
hey, there you go. That's our first milestone. Is just to not be in prison.
Not be in prison, yes. And we're doing a reasonably good job at that.
Not being in prison.
Yes. Well, I mean, for me, like prison is one thing, but you know, he'll get deported and then put in a prison in Botswana. So compared to my prison, his prison would be like
not good.
Really bad.
Really, he would be in like a hotel basically.
Compared to his, 100%.
I would be in a hole.
Just a massive hole in the ground. There's like I don't know if you guys have seen Prison Break before, but like that prison where he gets thrown into, where there's like no guards. It's kind of just like everyone in the prison. They figure out like a whole hierarchy system, and I can tell you right now, he would be the guy like, you know, cleaning out
At
the toilets
bottom.
kind of thing. So I mean, you know, I'm sure he would have plenty of time to work out.
Well, maybe I could like work my way to the top, sort of.
Pull a Mike Tyson, yeah.
Maybe
and
just beat
like
them all
come
up.
out and be like,
Probably.
So. And so I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Other than thank you if you've watched this far. I don't even know how this editing is gonna go, but
well, we don't know how long this is right now. Let's take a guess at how long it's been.
I think it's been at least 30 minutes.
But you got to give me like it has to be like a minute, like 35 minutes or whatever.
To the minute? Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Like, let me go for like 38 minutes. That's my
38 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go with 37 minutes.
37 minutes. Okay. If you're on the dot, then you get to host the next episode alone.
Okay, I hope I'm wrong, guys, because I really don't want to spend like an hour sitting
Hopefully
talking to
right.
a camera. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see. But yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. If you did enjoy listening to us yap about ourselves, which we're not going to be doing every week, I promise you that. We're not like oh, I'm the best guy in the world.
Other people.
Yes, we will talk about other people and other things. We just wanted to talk about ourselves a little bit so you guys can get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Looking forward to what the future holds and some pretty cool podcast ideas that we can get our hands on and hopefully share with you guys. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you did like it, leave a like,
subscribe, hit that bell,
you know,
all those things,
post notifications on. Leave a comment about either what you want to hear us talk about on here, some ideas for our short form content channels, and I mean, we're not the most. Marcus is definitely a lot more outgoing than I am, so he is. Don't let him fool you. So we can try doing some stuff where we like go out in public and ask people questions. I think that would be like good for,
could be interesting.
Like, you know, our just, you know, self-confidence and the ability to like go up to complete strangers and just talk to them. I think that
like a homeless guy.
We won't be interviewing anyone
on drugs.
We'll try not to. Some people are a bit like, if a dude's like stood like, obviously not. But some people, you know, are a little bit more difficult to tell than others. So yes, we will try keep the interviews sober,
drug
and alcohol free.
Sometimes.
Don't do that stuff, children. It's bad for your liver.
It's very bad.
Don't do drugs. That's bad for your brain.
Yep.
Most of your body, to be completely honest. Yep.
This is your drugs on brain. Maybe I can input an image right there.
Yes, there we go. He's going to put a nice image right there and show you what happens to your brain
on drugs
when you take drugs.
Yes.
It'll be like an MRI. And then next time we can go through it and explain all the different things on the MRI.
This is an educational podcast.
Yes, 100%. We're going to like teach you guys everything you need to know about everything. There we go. See, we're like
I think we're like kind of like converging. You know how like eventually like two strings will.
We're like a sine and a coast wave. It's like
eventually
they go and then they meet and then they swap and then they meet.
Exactly.
You know, so. But yeah, we'll try and be on the same
wavelength.
I feel like we've lived together long enough that's
kind of
not unreasonable.
Anyway. Sometimes we wear the same clothes. I mean, not like
that. It's like, uncanny the amount of times that we've matched, like Black Pant's green shirt.
Yeah,
it's actually crazy. So
that the other day with the green shirt, that was like,
itself shows that you know we are on that same
in sync
wavelength.
You know?
So but I feel like we're kind of going on now. Yeah, we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys very much for listening.
Thank you so much.
Do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.